favorite actors of all time, Patrick Stewart. Here's a guy who is trained Shakespearean actor, and yet he's doing, on Family Guy, a guest baby role. Somebody's holding a baby, and the camera goes to the baby, and he goes, "Hello, this is Patrick Stewart. How are you enjoying the show so far?" I love that he does that. He's a voice whore just like me. But I am a little bit confused about one thing. I have no problem with him doing commercial work. I do commercials. I don't think it's a sellout. If you're a voice actor, you do that, right? So you've no doubt seen the commercials. National car rental. No, go like a pro, business traveler. Have you seen those commercials? Choose any car in the aisle. Okay, there's an Enterprise rent-a-car. Why is Patrick Stewart the voice of National? Did they beat him to the punch? I mean, if I owned Enterprise rent-a-car, I would want Patrick Stewart to engage. Enterprise, make it so. Oh, all right.
Here's a question. In the Duke voice, can you describe to us Duke's early childhood?
My childhood was wrought with problems. My dad left when I was 7. My mom was a hooker.
I don't know where that came from. Certainly no reflection on my life at all, I assure you. Except for that part about my dad. No. Did you want more?
I used to dissect frogs with firecrackers.
Oh, here's one.
How about a little frog baseball?
Okay, that's from personal experience. Seriously, I know it's awful. It's awful, but let me explain. Let me explain. When I was a teenager, for several years of my teenage life, I was being raised in eastern North Carolina, a little town called Jacksonville, right? And in Jacksonville, North Carolina, every spring the frogs come out, and oh my God, do they come out. The frogs come out in such masses that the streets are paved with flat frogs from cars running them over. So me as a 13-year-old boy, and my 13-year-old friends, who walk around, picking up flat frogs and go, "Wee, frisbee!" It was nothing to play frog baseball. They were just, and blow them up with firecrackers. I know, girls, that sounds awful and terrible and animal killer and blah, blah, blah. But they weren't like animals to us. There were so many. Can you guys relate to this?
Yes.
Who else has blown up a frog with a firecracker? Come on. Thank you, I'm not alone. If it has anything to do with animals that are bigger than a frog, I don't want to hear about it.
It's a pigeon.
A pigeon? Oh. Did you feed Alka-Seltzer to it? Yeah. Oh. I don't think I could do that. Okay, now you know how they always say on TV, don't try this at home. Please don't do this at home, but I learned another thing about living in North Carolina was in summers we'd go out to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but there's a ferry you can take out to Ocracoke Island. And when you take the ferry, well, the ferry has on it, a machine full of, cheese, peanut butter crackers, and such. People love to feed the seagulls, which is something you should never do, because every time the ferry leaves for Ocracoke Island, there's 1,000,000 seagulls hovering over the back of the ferry, right? I learned that if you toss them Alka-Seltzer, apparently seagulls don't fart or burp. They blow up. Yeah, don't do that, okay? Because I was a kid back then. I can make jokes about that kind of stuff, the frogs and all that, but I love animals, and I can't kill animals anymore.
方ね。
Here you can hunt to your heart's content, skin your enemies and turn them into your equipment. And to be perfectly honest, that's pretty much it. I make a mistake, Oh, I'm safe. Well, you can tell this game is made by Capcom because Capcom, with their experience in fighting games, is good at making really, really tight hitboxes. Except for one particular monster. No, even Duplex are not A thing to make note, you just saw that notice pop up on screen that my weapon's sharpness is decreased. That little sword underneath my life and stamina gauges is my sharpness gauge. That determines the damage the weapon does to a very large degree.